total freedom. Freedom to do what? Freedom to participate in carnage, in violence, in gross immorality, sexual immorality. Freedom to inflict harm on others. Freedom to be obnoxious and rowdy and belligerent. Free to be disgusting and foul and in your language and your mannerisms and your behavior. That's freedom. That's bondage. That's slavery to your own lust, to your own flesh, to your own mental sinfulness and corruption. Yeah, the Bible has a lot to say about being slaves. You're either a slave towards corruption or you're a slave towards righteousness. I don't know if there's any middle ground. You're a slave to somebody, Bob Dylan said. Bob Dylan says you gotta serve someone. There's no release from slavery. Everyone's a slave. You're trapped in your physical body. This flesh has skin on it. You can't escape yourself. It's impossible. And even after you escape your body, for those who believe in the afterlife, which many do, there's no escape there either. In fact, there's less freedom in the afterlife than there is now in this present physical three-dimensional life. Once you have faced the eternal judgment, the day of recompense, there's no turning back. There's no second chances. There's no appeal process. There's no, give me another chance. No, once you meet your Creator for judgment, and He sends you to hell, to the lake of fire, to the place of darkness, there is no escape. It's forever and it's eternal. It's not just 60, 70, 80 years. It's forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Because in that place there's no time. There's no time variance. There's no time limits. There's no time restrictions. It's not linear. It's not on a timeline. It's not a timeline. It's eternal, which means there's no time, there's no counting, there's no mathematics. It's just all eternal. Forever and ever. From Alpha, the Omega, from beginning to end. Before that, before the beginning and even after the end. And not even in between. It's just, it's hard to explain. No one can really understand it fully. But eternity is a place that's real. The ancients tell us. Most of the ancients around the world have written to the future of humanity to explain these things, saying that there is a day for each individual, and it can be a scary day or it can be a joyful day. It's up to each individual. We've been given a choice to choose life or choose death. Not physical death, eternal death. And eternal death is different than physical death. Eternal death is you just keep living in a state of death. You keep living in a state of death and there's no dying. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and going, and there's no stops. No stops. It never ends. It just keeps going and going. And you want to be in that state of suffering for your sins and paying the penalty of your sins? Hell no. I want to be forgiven, and I want to be accepted and beloved. I want to have joy, and permanent peace, permanent happiness. It's going to be glorious for those who are believers.